Chosen one, stop what you're doing and listen carefully, because this message is not reaching you by accident. There comes a moment in every person's journey when heaven becomes silent, when prayers seem unanswered, when doors remain closed, and when every step forward feels heavier than the last. Most people mistake that season for rejection. Most people believe God has forgotten them. Most people quit during that painful chapter, but not you. Every tear you cried when nobody was around, every battle you fought in silence, every temptation you resisted when no one would have known if you gave in, every time you chose faith over fear, hope over despair, and obedience over comfort, God was paying attention. Right now, there are blessings being prepared that your current mind can barely comprehend. Doors are being unlocked that have remained closed for years. Divine connections are moving into position. Opportunities are approaching from unexpected directions. And the reaction from God to your faithfulness is going to leave you completely stunned. Chosen one, stop scrolling for a moment and listen carefully, because this message is not an accident. There are some messages that entertain, some that inspire, and some that arrive at the exact moment they are needed. This is one of those moments. For a long time, you have been walking through a season that made no sense. You prayed, but the answers seemed delayed. You worked hard, but the rewards appeared distant. You stayed faithful, yet challenges continued to appear from every direction. There were nights when you questioned everything. There were mornings when getting out of bed felt like a victory. There were moments when you wondered if God had forgotten about you entirely. But what if I told you that heaven was never silent? What if I told you that every struggle, every disappointment, every delay, and every challenge was part of a test? Not a punishment, not abandonment. A test, and chosen one, you passed. You may not realize it yet, because the results have not fully appeared in your physical reality. But in the spiritual realm, something significant has already happened. The season of examination is ending, and the season of revelation is beginning. The reason this message feels different is because your spirit already knows something is changing. Deep down, you can sense that the chapter you have been living in is coming to a close. The weight is lifting, the fog is clearing, the waiting is ending, and God's reaction to your faithfulness is going to shock you. You see, most people think the greatest tests happen in moments of crisis, but often the hardest tests happen in ordinary days. They happen when nobody is watching. They happen when you have every reason to quit, but choose to continue. They happen when you are tired, discouraged, and frustrated. Yet you still decide to trust God one more day. That was your test. The enemy expected you to give up. The circumstances expected you to surrender. The people who doubted you expected you to fail. Yet somehow, despite everything, you kept moving forward. You cried, but continued. You struggled, but continued. You doubted, but continued. You were wounded, but continued. And heaven took notice. Many people never understand that before elevation comes examination. Before promotion comes preparation. Before blessings arrive, character must be developed. God is not only interested in giving you what you want, He is interested in shaping you into the person capable of handling what He wants to give. Think about how much you have changed. The version of you from a few years ago would not recognize the strength you carry today. The storms taught you endurance. The betrayal taught you wisdom. The delays taught you patience. The disappointments taught you discernment. The battles taught you faith. Every challenge became a classroom. Every setback became a lesson. Every closed door became protection. At the time, it felt unfair. Now, you are beginning to understand. The test was never designed to break you. It was designed to build you. There were moments when God seemed distant. You prayed for immediate answers and received silence. You asked for direction and received waiting. You asked for relief and received another challenge. But what looked like silence was actually observation. God was watching how you would respond. Would you remain faithful when there was no applause? Would you continue believing when there was no evidence? Would you trust him when the outcome remained uncertain? And chosen one, the answer was yes. You passed. You may be wondering what exactly happens when someone passes God's final test. The answer is simple: acceleration. Things that were delayed begin to move. Doors that were locked begin to open. Connections that seemed impossible suddenly appear. Opportunities arrive from unexpected places. Favor starts showing up in situations where logic cannot explain it. What once took years begins happening in months. What once took months begins happening in weeks. Not because of luck, not because of coincidence, but because the season has changed. There is a reason why some people experience sudden breakthroughs after years of struggle. From the outside, it looks like success happened overnight, but heaven knows the truth. The breakthrough was years in the making. The blessing was being prepared while they were being tested. The reward was waiting until they were ready. That may be exactly where you are right now. You have spent so much time focusing on what you lost that you have not fully realized what you gained. You gained strength, you gained wisdom, you gained maturity, you gained resilience, you gained spiritual authority. And those things are far more valuable than temporary comfort. The enemy wanted your struggle to make you bitter. Instead, it made you stronger. The enemy wanted your delays to destroy your faith. Instead, they deepened your trust. The enemy wanted your disappointments to convince you to quit. Instead, they prepared you for victory. That is why heaven is celebrating something you cannot fully see yet. You passed a test that many people fail. You remained faithful under pressure. You maintained hope during uncertainty. You continued believing when there was no guarantee. That matters more than you realize. Right now, there are things happening behind the scenes that your eyes cannot yet perceive. People are being positioned. Conversations are taking place. Opportunities are forming. Resources are aligning. Answers are approaching. And at the perfect moment, everything will begin connecting together. When it happens, you will look back and understand why the journey took so long. You will understand why certain doors had to close. You will understand why certain people had to leave. You will understand why certain opportunities disappeared. Because if those things had remained, they would have distracted you from something far greater. Sometimes God's greatest blessings arrive, disguised as painful endings. Sometimes divine protection feels like rejection. Sometimes redirection feels like loss. But eventually the truth becomes clear. God was not taking something from you. He was making room for something better. Chosen one of the clearest signs that you have passed the final test is that your perspective has changed. You no longer react the way you once did. You no longer chase what you once chased. You no longer fear what you once feared. You have become calmer, stronger, wiser, more focused, more aligned. The things that once shook you now barely move you. That is growth. That is evidence of transformation. That is proof that the testing season accomplished its purpose. Many people want blessings without growth. They want promotion without preparation. They want success without development. But God works differently. He develops the person before delivering the promise. That way, when the blessing arrives, it becomes sustainable. The greatest danger is not receiving a blessing too late. The greatest danger is receiving it too early. That is why your preparation mattered. That is why your testing mattered. That is why your waiting mattered. Nothing was wasted. Every tear had a purpose. Every delay had a purpose. Every challenge had a purpose. Every battle had a purpose. Even the moments that seemed meaningless were contributing to your development. And now the results are beginning to emerge. You may notice that old fears are losing their power. You may notice that new opportunities are appearing. You may notice that your intuition feels stronger. You may notice that peace is replacing anxiety. These are signs that a transition is taking place. A new season is beginning. The chapter of testing is giving way to the chapter of reward. Not because life will suddenly become perfect, but because you are no longer the person who entered the test. You have evolved. You have grown. You have become someone capable of carrying greater responsibility and greater blessings. That is why God's reaction will stun you, because His response is bigger than you expect. Most people pray for one breakthrough. God is preparing multiple breakthroughs. Most people ask for one open door. God is preparing several opportunities. Most people focus on one area of improvement. God is transforming entire sections of their lives. The reward often exceeds the request. The blessing often surpasses the expectation. The outcome often becomes greater than the original dream. That is what makes God's timing so powerful. He does not merely restore what was lost. He often creates something even better, something stronger, something deeper, something more aligned with your true purpose. So if you have been feeling discouraged recently, hear this message clearly. Do not quit now. Do not doubt now. Do not walk away now. You are too close. The test is ending. The breakthrough is approaching. The waiting season is reaching its conclusion. And what comes next will make sense of everything that came before. One day you will tell your story. You will talk about the nights you cried. You will talk about the doors that closed. You will talk about the people who left. You will talk about the battles you fought. And then you will talk about the moment everything changed. The moment God responded. The moment favor appeared. The moment opportunities arrived. The moment blessings started flowing. The moment you realized that every challenge had been preparing you for something greater. And when that day comes, you will understand something powerful. The final test was never meant to stop you. It was meant to reveal who you truly are. A survivor, a believer, a warrior, a chosen one. So stand tall today. Hold your faith, protect your peace. Trust the process. And remember this message whenever doubt tries to return. You passed the final test. Heaven saw your faithfulness. God saw your perseverance. Your season is changing. Your breakthrough is near. And God's reaction to your unwavering faith will be far greater than anything you could have imagined. The waiting is ending. The preparation is complete. The door is opening. But chosen one, the message does not end there, because there is something even deeper that heaven wants you to understand. The final test was never only about proving your faith to God. God already knew what was inside of you. He already knew your strength. He already knew your potential. He already knew the purpose He placed upon your life before you were even born. The test was designed to reveal those things to you. For years you underestimated yourself. You looked at your weaknesses and forgot your strengths. You focused on your mistakes and ignored your growth. You compared your journey to others and overlooked how far you had already come. But now, after everything you've survived, there is no denying it anymore. You are stronger than you thought. You are wiser than you thought. You are more prepared than you thought. You are more capable than you thought. And that realization is part of the reward. Because once you understand who you have become, nothing can stop you from stepping into what God has prepared. Many people spend their lives waiting for permission, waiting for validation, waiting for someone else to tell them they are ready. But chosen one, heaven is saying something different. You are ready. You were being prepared while you thought you were being delayed. You were being trained while you thought you were being overlooked. You were being strengthened while you thought you were being forgotten. Every difficult season carried a hidden purpose. Every challenge contained a hidden lesson. Every setback carried a hidden blessing. And now those hidden blessings are beginning to emerge. You may not see the entire picture yet, but pieces are starting to come together. The confusion is lifting. The uncertainty is fading. The direction is becoming clearer. And soon you will look back and realize that God was guiding you even when you thought you were lost. There are people who walked away because they could not survive the test. There are people who surrendered because the pressure became too much. There are people who abandoned their purpose because they became discouraged. But you remained. You stayed in the fight. You stayed in the process. You stayed connected to hope. And that perseverance has positioned you for something extraordinary. Listen carefully, because this next part is important. The blessing that is coming is not only for you. It will affect everyone connected to you. Your victory will inspire others. Your breakthrough will encourage others. Your testimony will strengthen others. Your success will open doors for others. That is why the battle was so intense. The enemy was never only fighting your future. The enemy was fighting the impact your future would have on countless people. There are individuals you have never met whose lives will be changed because you refused to quit. There are opportunities waiting that will allow you to help people in ways you cannot currently imagine. There are assignments attached to your destiny that require the strength you developed during this season. That is why the preparation was necessary. Great responsibility requires great preparation, and great purpose requires great endurance. You have been prepared for both. Some of you listening to this have felt isolated. You have felt misunderstood. You have felt as though nobody truly understands the weight you carry. But hear this clearly. Isolation was not always punishment. Sometimes it was protection. God removed distractions so you could hear His voice more clearly. God separated you from certain environments so your vision could become sharper. God allowed certain relationships to end because they could not accompany you into your next season. It hurt, it felt unfair, it felt lonely. But now you are beginning to understand. Not everyone is assigned to your future. Some people are only assigned to a chapter. And when that chapter ends, their role ends as well. Do not mourn forever over people who were only meant to accompany you temporarily. Celebrate what they taught you. Appreciate the lessons they provided. Then continue moving forward, because your future is calling, and your future requires your full attention. Chosen one, another. Sign that you passed the final test is that your priorities have changed. The things that once consumed your energy no longer seem important. The drama no longer attracts you. The negativity no longer controls you. The need for approval no longer dominates your decisions. You are becoming focused on purpose, focused on growth, focused on peace, focused on alignment. This transformation did not happen overnight. It happened through years of experience, years of lessons, years of victories, defeats, years of learning what truly matters, and that wisdom is priceless. There are people with wealth, but no wisdom. People with influence, but no character. People with success, but no peace. But God has been developing something deeper within you, a foundation, a stability, a maturity that cannot be purchased. That foundation will sustain the blessings that are coming, because the next season is not just about receiving. It is about stewarding, managing, leading, building, expanding. The opportunities ahead will require a new version of you. Fortunately, that new version already exists. The testing season created it. Every challenge carved away what was unnecessary. Every disappointment refined your perspective. Every obstacle strengthened your determination. And now you stand stronger than ever before. Do not underestimate the value of what you have survived. Many people would have broken under the pressure you carried. Many people would have surrendered during the storms you faced. Many people would have accepted defeat. But you continued. Even when progress seemed invisible, even when support seemed absent, Even when answers seemed delayed, you continued. And that persistence is exactly why your breakthrough is approaching. Heaven rewards endurance. Heaven honors faithfulness. Heaven notices consistency. While others were focused on appearances, heaven was focused on your heart. While others judged your current circumstances, heaven saw your future. While others doubted your potential, heaven was preparing your promotion. And now the time is coming for what has been hidden to be revealed. You will not need to force it. You will not need to manipulate it. You will not need to chase it. What God has ordained for you will find its way to you. Doors that belong to you will open. People assigned to your journey will appear. Opportunities connected to your purpose will emerge. The struggle of forcing everything is ending. The season of alignment is beginning. This does not mean challenges will disappear forever. Every new level carries new responsibilities. Every new blessing carries new expectations. Every new opportunity carries new tests. But the difference now is that you know who you are. You know what God has brought you through. You know what you are capable of surviving. You know that setbacks are not the end of the story. You know that delays are not denials. You know that closed doors are not permanent failures. You know that God's plans often unfold in unexpected ways. That confidence cannot be taken from you. It was earned through experience, earned through perseverance, earned through faith, and that confidence will carry you into the next chapter. Chosen one. Imagine looking back 5 years from now. Imagine seeing how perfectly the pieces fit together. Imagine understanding why certain events happened exactly when they did. Imagine realizing that what felt like a setback was actually a setup. Imagine discovering that every delay was positioning you for something greater. That moment is coming, and when it arrives, you will be grateful that you trusted the process. You will be grateful that you did not quit. You will be grateful that you remained faithful during the difficult seasons, because the rewards will exceed the sacrifices. The joy will outweigh the pain. The growth will justify the struggle, and the purpose will make the journey worthwhile. So today, lift your head higher, walk with confidence, speak with faith, move with courage. The final test is behind you. The preparation is complete. The lessons have been learned. The foundation has been built. And now a new chapter is opening before you, one filled with greater peace, greater clarity, greater opportunities, greater purpose, greater impact, and greater blessings than you currently realize. Remember this: whenever doubt tries to return, you did not come this far to stop now. You did not survive all those battles for nothing. You did not endure all those tests without reason. There was purpose in every step. There was meaning in every struggle. There was growth in every challenge. And there is reward waiting on the other side of your faithfulness. So keep believing, keep trusting, keep moving forward, because heaven has already recorded your victory. The final test has been passed. The season has shifted. The doors are beginning to open. The answers are beginning to arrive. The blessings are beginning to move. And very soon, chosen one, you will witness the stunning reaction of God, not merely in words, but through transformed circumstances, unexpected favor, divine opportunities, miraculous timing, and a future that proves beyond any doubt that every moment of waiting was worth it. Your story is not ending. Your story is just beginning.